Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the exact anatomy of squat exercise weight loss. Because honestly, if you're looking to efficiently transform your body, understanding the underlying science and biomechanics of this one single movement is an absolute game changer. We aren't just talking about building leg strength here, we're unpacking a full system engine for fat oxidation.
We're kicking things off with a pretty massive number, 35. Why? Well, because research from the Cleveland Clinic actually shows you can burn roughly 35 calories per minute while performing high-intensity squats. Just think about that for a second. That kind of intense energy demand easily makes it one of the most efficient calorie-burning exercises in existence. And really, that energy demand makes perfect sense when you look at the big picture. The squat is widely considered the king of all exercises, and for good reason. It works over 256 muscles in just one single movement. You aren't just working your legs, you're demanding huge amounts of energy from an enormous network of tissues across your entire body simultaneously. Section 1. The weight loss engine, hormones and metabolism. So the sheer physical effort it takes to squat heavy loads does a lot more than just build muscle. It literally stimulates the release of vital hormones, including testosterone and somatotropin, which you might know as human growth hormone. These are absolutely crucial for muscle growth and fat metabolism. The really cool part is that by adding this dense muscle mass, you're permanently increasing your long-term resting metabolism. You essentially turn your body into a 24/7 calorie-burning machine, all while improving your bone mineral density at the exact same time. Section 2. Anatomy of the squat, building the engine. Before we get into the specific muscles involved, let's quickly define our terms. An agonist is simply the primary muscle responsible for generating a specific movement. In the context of our ultimate weight loss engine, your body's agonists are the ones demanding the absolute lion's share of your energy and oxygen to get the job done. Now check out how this massive workload is actually distributed. Your glutes and quadriceps, well, they're the agonists. They're doing the heavy lifting. But the real magic is in the synergists and stabilizers. Your hamstrings and calves are firing constantly just to assist, while the erector spinae in your back and the transversus abdominis in your deep core are heavily contracting just to keep you upright. All of these muscles are burning through fuel together. Section 3. Maximizing the fat burn, the velocity factor. Knowing the anatomy is great, but what about speed? Let's look at a really fascinating study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research by Garrett Shia and colleagues. They wanted to figure out if the actual speed of your squat repetitions changed how much fuel you burn. So they tested men squatting in 2-second, 4-second, and 6-second cycles, using a load of 30% of their body weight. The results were absolutely definitive. Pushing the pace with a continuous 2-second repetition cycle significantly maximized total energy expenditure, carbohydrate oxidation, and, most importantly for us, fat oxidation, especially when compared to the slower 4- and 6-second cycles. So what's the big takeaway here? Basically, a faster cycle means a bigger calorie deficit. Squatting at a greater frequency forces your internal engine into overdrive. Controlling your cycle time duration, specifically aiming for that brisk, controlled 2-second pace, is a highly effective evidence-based strategy to really maximize your weight loss. Section 4. Perfecting your squat form, safe biomechanics. You definitely can't burn fat if you're injured, right? It literally all starts from the ground up, specifically with ankle dorsiflexion. That's the ability to flex your ankle, bringing your toes up toward your shin. According to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, you actually need 15 to 20 degrees of ankle dorsiflexion just to safely reach the bottom of a parallel squat without your body compensating in some pretty dangerous ways. Now, if your mobility is solid, you want to follow these exact mechanical steps. Stand tall, shoulder width apart. Hinge your hips back like you're sitting in a chair, and lower down until your thighs are parallel to the floor. And here is a crucial detail. Ensure you inhale on the way down to build intra-abdominal pressure, and forcefully exhale on the push back up through your heels to fully stabilize your core. Section 5. Avoiding common squat mistakes. Even if you know the steps perfectly, our bodies love to cheat if they lack mobility. Let's contrast safe lifting against common mistakes. In an optimal squat, your spine remains perfectly neutral and your knees track right in line with your toes. But if you're tight, you might start rounding your lower back or leaning way too far forward and pushing off the balls of your feet. These compensations put tremendous unnecessary strain on your lumbar spine and your knee joints. And this brings us to one of the most common and frankly most dangerous compensations we see, knee valgus. You might know this as knock knees, where your shins point out but your thighs collapse inward during the heavy part of the lift. This usually happens when your gluteus medius is weak or your ankles lack that dorsiflexion we talked about just a minute ago.
Make no mistake here, knee valgus is a primary predictor of ACL injuries and severe patellofemoral pain. Your knee is basically caught in the kinetic chain between the hip and the ankle. If you ever see or feel your knees caving inward, you need to stop immediately. Pushing through it completely ruins the safety and the efficiency of your weight loss engine.
To fix these issues and actually protect those joints, try using these quick mental cues during your descent and ascent. Keep your chest up and eyes forward to prevent your back from rounding. Always push up through your heels. Imagine there's a small grape under the arch of your foot. Don't let your arch collapse and smash that grape. And hey, if your ankles are a bit tight, just safely widen your stance a bit to give your hips more room to work. Section 6, Anatomy to Action, your next steps. Let's quickly review the core takeaways here. Every time you squat, you're commanding 256 muscles to do incredible work, burning roughly 35 calories a minute. By utilizing a controlled but brisk 2-second cycle, you are actively maximizing fat oxidation. Building this incredibly strong lower body engine not only incinerates calories during your workout, but it naturally elevates your metabolic rate for hours and sometimes even days afterward. But please, if you take one thing away from this explainer, let it be this. Never sacrifice a neutral spine or proper new tracking just to squeeze in a faster cycle. Proper depth and mobility prevent injury, and your biomechanics are the true foundation of your results. Focus on form first, speed second, and I promise you, the fat loss will naturally follow as your body adapts. Now that you understand the incredible anatomy and the hard science behind the squat, it's time to translate all this knowledge into sweat. But ask yourself, have you been leaving your ultimate weight loss result on the table by ignoring your biomechanics and speed? I really hope this explainer has left you inspired to refine your movement and fire up that metabolic engine. Catch you in the next one.